Welcome, my gorgeous Scorpios. This is your reading for December 2025. December already. Um, I have to say, get ready for what I feel like is going to be a great reading. I already feel it. I feel it in my spiritual bones. Um, I just have a feeling this month is going to show all the hard work that I know a lot of you have been putting in, like shadow work, getting rid of just energy that's no longer serving you. And I feel like in December, you're going to start seeing some real rewards, some real, like blessings. They may feel like miracles, but I want to remind you, like everyone, you have earned. I know that. Your guides know that. And remember, a lot of people forget this, but when you were born, before you were born, you already had a whole spiritual team that was assigned to just you, only you. Um, and their job is to guide you. So I definitely feel they're here. I know they're here. And I'm really just going to let them have the table and we're going to see what unfolds for Scorpio for December. By the way, Scorpio, sun, moon, rising. Many of you are intuitively guided. That's just the way spirit works. If there's a message and this just came across your feed and you may not even have Scorpio or you're not sure, just know that chances are the reading is going to resonate with you. I already know that. I already know that. I feel it. So let's go ahead and um, I don't want to do a lot of talking. I do want to let you know though, I am running I started a new, what's the word? I was going to say package, but it's not a package. A new service that I offer. And um, it's only $22. And what I do is it's an audio recording. I may change it over to like an actual document. We'll see. But right now it's an audio recording. And what I'm doing is you can either look back at your past lives, but we're looking at past lives as in also what you may have carried into this lifetime. I have to tell you, they are so interesting. Um, and kind of mind blowing. Or you can do a 2026 future horoscope, but I call it a spiritual horoscope. It's more about like what your guides want you to know for each month. So those two options are out there. I just did a video where I actually did my birthday. So I did me like I was you, like I was a client and I did past lives. It was very interesting and it made so much sense of why I do what I do now. But then I also did the horoscope. So I combined it into one podcast for you. So you that way like what you're getting. Um so if you're interested in that because that I don't know how long I'm going to offer that. We'll see. We'll see. But I love doing them, and I'm telling you, especially the past life ones, I think they are just, hmm, I feel like they're packed full of information that your soul needs to hear. So that's them. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and calm my energy, bring it back to beautiful Scorpio, and let's begin. So, what we're going to do today, Scorpio, is we will give Mother Mary the honor of opening up your reading. We will use the crystal vision. I say to clarify, we're going to do an actual spread today, the Celtic Cross. It's just been working so well. I'm like, why change it? And I love the readings that it's producing. The reason why my readings are long for anyone who's new is because I want your story to unfold. And that takes time. And not only do I want your story to unfold, but I also want our guys to show you like how to get from A to B, from B to C, how to get to your dreams. So that's why they're longer. So anyways, for your main spread, we are going to use the Light Seers Tarot. So I'm going to go ahead and bring the lid down, not too far. Let's put our crystals away. I feel like I want to bring the lid up just a little bit more. There we go. Let me grab a drink of coffee. Move the crystal vision over. And let's begin. And so it is. And so it is. All right. Everything is always pre-shuffled, just so you know that. But I do like to give it a shuffle with you here also. Okay, Mother Mary, for our beautiful Scorpios and those intuitively guided, your words of wisdom. Scorpio, not easy, but I do feel like it's a necessity for your own well-being. Forgiveness. I am willing to release old resentments so that I may enjoy my life, so that you can enjoy your life. Forgiveness. And if there's ever a time to do it, it's within a 9 year, which is what we're in. But remember, it doesn't mean that you have to pick up a phone and like literally say, I forgive you. You can, but you don't have to. It's about forgiving within your heart, not carrying that. Well, it's exactly what it says. I'm willing to release old resentments. Okay. I knew Mother Mary had more to say. Self-respect. I honor and love myself through my healthful actions. And then, well, love, love, love. We're talking about love, love, love. I love it when Mother Mary sends out love. I just feel like whatever is going to follow, it's going to bring joy to our hearts. I just know it. So, love is the answer to all of my questions. Forgiving in the name of love, loving yourself in the name of love, maybe loving another. We'll see. But love. Okay. Let's put these over here. And I'm going to give each one a crystal. Forgiveness, self-respect, and love. Okay. One more drink of coffee. Let's move it off the table. So, as I am laying down the cards in their position, I'll tell you like what each position stands for. Let's give them a cut. All right. So we're starting with number one, and that is the present situation. Number one. present situation, what's going on, maybe what wants to go on. And then number two is what challenges it. Now, that's what it's called in the spread, what challenges it. Sometimes I feel like this is also very often like advice. Like it's what helps you move from point A to point B. So, number three is the subconscious mind. I call this one the root because it sits at the root of the reading. So, the subconscious mind, what's happening in that subconscious mind. Next is your past. And then next is your conscious mind. So these are the things that you are aware of, or you very soon will be aware of. Next is your near future. And it makes sense that it would mirror the past. And then you, all about you, you, and you. And then external influences. And I do like putting them down. I don't know. I just like the excitement of what's under that card. Next is your hopes and fears. Are they playing a role, whether in a good way or in a bad way, in your near future? So, what are you afraid of? What do you wish for? That type of energy. And then last but not least is the potential final outcome. And lately I've been saying, I have to say potential, and really everyone should say potential because we all have free will. Our guides know that. Our guides can't intercede within our free will, so how could I? You know what I mean? Um, but they will certainly try to influence. You know what I mean? Like they can't make you move like out of a situation, but they can send in a lot of resistance, to and that usually happens when a soul contract is coming due. So something that your soul wanted to do in this lifetime, and this is probably, well, the divine timing of it, the right time. Um, so let's go ahead and start with the present situation. The Knight of Swords. Look at him now. He's like rushing to get on his motorbike, like rushing to get somewhere. It's like he received a call, and that's what I was waiting for. Now I'm on my way. Whether it be you or another. Interesting. I feel like something is coming towards you very quickly. Do you feel like it's a person? How it reaches you? It is the Knight of Swords, so it could be communication. But I can't help notice this person, even like how they're illuminating the bottom of his shoes. Like this person has a goal on their mind and they are going to complete it. That's the thing about a knight. They will complete their mission. Whether it's accepted or not will be up to wherever they're heading. But this person, like, I feel like they know where they want to go. I get this sense of like, for some of you, like, someone could have heard that you were single after you've been in a relationship, and it's like, it's my turn to enter. There's something going on. Let's keep going. Look at this, the world. So this would not be a challenge. Well, the world does speak of completion. So something has come to completion. And this knight knows that. Interesting. For some reason, I feel like the knight's not you. I feel like this knight knows that something has come to completion for you and therefore is like rushing in the world. You know, this is the fool. This is the representation of the fool in the portal of the world. So, the fool, a new beginning, free, clear, unencumbered, right? Examine the past, understand the past, put the past away. Extracts the wisdom of it. And that, like think of like the strength card where you had to look within oneself, right? How to find that inner demon and how to bring that to balance. Think of the hermit because the hermit is right, really the last energy before the world. So the hermit, that spiritual reflection, like finding the light after many years of darkness. This is also a very spiritual time. This is when your spirituality, I feel, is really intact. Like you are walking hand in hand with your spiritual team. Wow. Okay. Let's look at the root or the subconscious. Look at this. The Ace of Wands. Wow. It's like the fire that is lighting the whole situation. It's like the inspiration that has this person running to their motorbike. When you see the Ace of Wands, it's talking about passion ignited. Something is being ignited. Could be a third eye, could just be good old passion. Someone could remember you from like back in the day and remember that passionate part of you because you are very passionate. But this is really happening to you. This is great energy because so much can happen with the Ace of Wands. This can be inspired ideas that come to you out of the blue that you can literally turn around and make a business from. Like, I just feel like, let's just say it's unlimited. Like, I feel like whatever it's for, and I have a feeling it's for more than one thing. It's like a fire under your ass, in a way. Okay. Kind of hate to, but let's look at the past. We have the Queen of Wands. Interesting. So, can be Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. But I feel like this is I feel like this is you, to be honest. And I feel like what this is talking about is drama. Drama that you had to rise above. That's the one thing I notice about this queen. Um, it's like she's in this Zen position, Zen mode. And she's happy. She's happy. Some of you, I feel like you just cleared something. And now you're starting to feel good. I guess we could also look at the Queen of Wands and think about her journey. This is what I call the Page of Wands, which would be her younger self, my fool. So this queen is a risk taker. And what she learns as a page going into a knight to the queen is not all risks pay off, but some of them do. So I'd rather take that risk than nothing. In a way, I kind of love seeing that in your past because I don't feel like, and I feel like this must be your recent past because again, I feel like whatever needed cleared, I feel like you've done it. I feel like you've risen above. You've risen above other people's conflicts, other people's drama. And it makes sense now that you would have the Ace of Wands, right? Because who would take that Ace of Wands more than the Queen? The Queen would. If I feel inspired, I'm moving towards it. And I do feel this is you. Now I want you to use your own intuition. For some of you, it may be someone else, but I feel right now that it's you. All right, well, let's look at the conscious. So this is what you know or what you will know. The Tower. All right, well, don't freak out because number one, with the world here, we knew something came to completion. And the Tower, I just get this feeling that the tower didn't happen to you, that you may have given someone else the tower, which means an ending, a disruption. Um, and if you haven't yet, you may be thinking that. Because again, I'm not seeing this queen in any state of confusion, anything like that. I feel more it's about what you know now. And now it's like you're on a different path because of that. This could be your spirituality really wakening up because the world is a very spiritual time. So, whoever this knight is, if they're coming into and that's what it looks like someone who hasn't reached you yet, but they're on their way. And no wonder I said it's like someone heard, oh, Scorpio's single. And now they're rushing in. Well, the tower with this queen. And it may be asking some of you, let's say you haven't used this tower yet, because I feel like this tower is for you to use where you need to use it. I forget what I was going to say. Well, let's look at your near future. The Five of Wands. Interesting. So 5 is about a change. Okay. I feel like the one thing you want to be aware of, let's say, is you may have given this tower to someone. You may have ended something. And they may not have agreed with you. This could be someone who says, I'm going to file for divorce. And then a fight erupts. But the thing is, I feel like you know what you want. Doesn't mean everyone's going to agree with it. But so be it. So be it. Because, it's really, to me, a message about not getting caught in someone else's drama. They do say this can be friendly competition, but honestly, I see nothing friendly about it. Some of you may have stuck around a situation. Maybe you're waiting for someone to acknowledge their ways, but often in the Five of Wands, I don't feel like you get that, but I also don't feel like you need it because this world, this next chapter, by the way, the world is 21, number 21. You take the 2 plus the 1, it's a 3. What December is a 3-month. So I feel like this is saying, and we are doing December's reading, but I feel like this is definitely connecting December and this reading together for you. So this 5, remember, 5s are about change. I feel like some of you, you've already given that change, but someone may try to come back. And, that will be up to you. But here's the thing. I feel like you've cleared energy. And I feel like your vibration has lifted. So be careful not to get pulled down into lower vibrational energy. Because in the 5 of Wands, it's easy to get pulled into that drama. You have to learn to separate yourself from it. And I feel like you already did, but some things are lingering. And that's what I feel. Something is lingering. I feel like my Scorpio knows what they want. I feel like Scorpio is being inspired, guided. And I feel like if this is talking about an old relationship and someone tries to come back, and when I say that, I want you to understand, doesn't mean that someone comes back from an old relationship, but that relationship does have a chance. But in the 5 of Wands, I don't feel like this one, I can't say that people won't evolve or can't evolve. They can. But in the 5 of Wands, I don't feel like they want to. So I just get this sense like someone doesn't want to lose you, but at the same time, maybe someone doesn't want to put in the effort, right? Love, you know, don't we wish that all you had to do is love someone and everything would be just great? But that's just not the case, right? Because we're in these human bodies. Okay, well, we'll come back with the crystal vision, look at that, but let's keep moving. Let's look at you. Well, hello. Beautiful. The Fool. And the Fool right in the middle of the world. I love that, Scorpio. This is you taking a chance, but you're really taking a chance on yourself. This is you taking a leap of faith, but you're probably feeling the guidance at the same time. I often feel like if the Fool would fall, the angels will catch him. So nothing to fear. Take that leap. This means that you have put the past in the past. That's probably why I felt so strongly that you're the one who gave the tower. And you're allowing this new beginning for yourself, just as the world is asking. And whatever follows. This Ace of Wands, I feel like you have nothing to fear. All right, let's look at the external factors. Oh my gosh. Hello, soulmates. Well, there's that knight that's rushing towards you. Whether you know them, you don't know them, whether they found out that you're free, whether it be through social media or their guides. Because I feel like this ace at the root is inspiring the whole reading. So that means it's also inspiring this soulmate. This is taking a chance in love. But look at the type of love. Soulmate. It's almost like someone you were with was either a free will choice or maybe a karmic, and listen, being in the last year of this 9-year cycle, if there was karma to be paid back, you probably paid it back in the last 9 years. And whatever was left, if there was anything left, you probably felt that push. And I feel like you using the tower, it feels beautiful. It feels like you were inspired to use it. But maybe because you're feeling something else is on the horizon. And it is. I mean, it's quite beautiful to see the Fool and the Two of Cups together. This means both are going in with a fresh mind. They're not dragging like their past into this, what I feel like is going to be a relationship. I'm going to let this be what it wants to be without dragging yesterday's news into it. Wow. Okay. So, your hopes and your fears. Well, beautiful. The Hermit. First of all, is a card of Virgo. I feel like that's the first sign I've given. But many of you know, I don't like, I give you the signs, but then I don't even think about them after that. So, the reflection that's been done, that's exactly what I felt was happening. Like you are looking at those final little pieces. You are taking this year seriously. You know that we're moving into a clean slate in 2026, the year of the magician. It can be very powerful, especially for those who have let the past go. And when I say let the past go, I mean the things that just aren't working. The people who just aren't respecting us. We have to reclaim our power sooner or later. And I love how spirit is like putting a fire under you. This is probably a soul contract. And this is probably its timing. So this had to go. By the way, this doesn't have to be a relationship. It could just be energy that you were surrounding yourself with. It could be friends. Friends in lower places. You know what I mean? Like friends who influence you in a negative way. Doesn't mean they can't be good friends, but maybe, like, I don't know, like maybe it's someone who likes to drink a lot, but you have to go to work. You know what I mean? And then you drink with them and then you don't go to work or that type of thing. So, whatever it may be, I feel like you're letting it go. I hope you forgive and then just move on. All right, let's look at the final outcome, the Chariot. So, it's like it's unlimited potential. Where do you want it to go? How beautiful that the Fool and the Chariot are mirroring each other. And I love the Hermit even below the Chariot because first, this spiritual reflection. I feel like what many of you have found out in the last 9 years is that you're natural healers. And, and I feel you probably help to heal a lot of people. Like a lot of people probably come to you for advice and what have you, and you help them. Now, I feel like it's time to help you. Like you deserve, first of all, to have the weight of yesteryear taken off of you. But you got to know that, and you got to claim that. And again, I have to go back to forgiveness because that is weight. That's weight that we carry, but we don't have to. That's what I love about the Fool. The Fool's not saying, like, I haven't lived life. The Fool's like, I've lived a lot of life. But after every 9-year cycle, I reflect, I examine my life, I heal what needs to be healed. And if something is not working, then I try a different path. I go a different direction. And your guides will just get right behind that. But I hope you're heading towards the soulmate. I hope. Um, Even the Ace of Wands being so close to the Fool and the soulmates, you know, eh, you're being inspired. You're being inspired, and someone may come in again. I feel like it's a Knight of Swords. And who knows? They may have a lot that they want to profess to you. Like, I remember you back in the day and I had a crush on you. And that's for those who may know who this person is. But you are soulmates, so you know each other eternally. You know each other's souls. And that's the beautiful thing about soulmates is they really can help heal each other. I feel like we're always carrying some broken pieces. We were born imperfect. And it's really about finding ourselves again. And that's why I feel like this is about putting you first. And I'm not talking about in an egotistical way. You have a right. You have a right to be happy. All right, let's look at the bottom of the deck. Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles. Well, it is temporarily difficult energy. If you gave someone the Tower, I feel like you had no choice. I feel like you just had no choice. Now, this person, you can see, they're like in a state of sadness, right? Their head is down. They're really focusing on what has hurt them, focusing on the past, the present, several going on in this moment. But you see this big door. And to me, that's representing the world for you. And here's the key that unlocks that door. So it's not hidden. It's just when I change my focus, then I see that key. I unlock that door. And hello, world. Hello, world. And in the Five of Pentacles, I say this all the time. I feel like in the Five of Pentacles, you're moving closer and closer to your soulmate tribe. And when I say soulmate tribe, I already know one is going to be love, but even friendships, like, these are my people. You feel the difference. These are my people. All right, well, let's go ahead and bring in the crystal vision. I want to know a little more about that Knight of Swords for sure. Honestly, I don't have like many more questions, but I'm going to do this for you anyway. Um, I do want to know who this knight is. So I'm going to put the world like that. So this Knight of Swords. Interesting. The Five of Cups. Wow. So for a lot of you, it may be someone you know. Now, part of me feels like I said that too quickly. Because you're all going to know. Because in the Five of Cups, just like the Five of Pentacles, just like the Five of Wands, oh, you got 555. So changes are on the horizon. But this is when I'm focusing on, my emotional house and the cups that have been knocked over. And, why it wants change is because if I stay in this energy too long, it can become woe is me. The same thing in the Five of Pentacles. If she doesn't lift her head and turn around, will she ever see that key that's going to unlock this new door? She doesn't know what's behind that door, or I can tell you, she'd be unlocking it. Same here. I can focus on everything that's gone wrong, or I can start creating some things that are going to go right. And, the Five of Cups coming out because it is change. Well, we know the Tower is bringing that change, but there's two cups that have yet to come in. Here they are. We already have them. So, I know this knight is a soulmate. Now, this knight may be a king, and it may be the king who sent the knight, if that makes sense. Well, it's funny that I said that because all of a sudden I'm thinking someone could communicate through someone else. Like someone may communicate to a friend of yours, but asking about you. And then you'll get a call from your friend. Okay. Well, let's do a couple more. So, right off the bat, I know this knight is a soulmate. And I feel like this knight knows that, you've used this tower, or even the tower is used against you. But what I want you to think about, though, is, sometimes I do feel like we will come back and we will look at these towers and we will be so grateful for them. We don't know that when we're in it. But you only have to look back at your own history. Your history is like your history book. And we do run in 9-year cycles. So look back at some of the towers that happened in your life that at the time you thought, well, this is it. No more. Done. And then something new happens that makes you kind of forget about that tower. Well, that's what I feel is going to happen again. We have the Nine of Pentacles. Beautiful. Beautiful. Successful self-employment. Now, let's say you don't have a business. Well, let's say you've wanted to have a business. Then this is definitely the time. When you see the Fool's energy connected also to the world, like, get excited. What do you want to do? Because I feel like this is a time to really chase after those dreams. So maybe some of you have wanted business ownership. Just put one foot in front of the other. I feel like you already possess the wisdom. And the rest you'll learn as you go. Now, I also feel for some of you, you are starting to see the fruits of your labor. And it may have taken a while. Interesting. We also have double Virgo on the board, just popped in my mind. But can I just say, that I feel like this is also representing your status, and that would be single. Because, well, let me put it a different way. Because some of you may still be in something, but you want to go. So the Nine of Pentacles is independent energy. And it's not that whoever comes in, whoever your soulmate is, like, I wouldn't be happy, or like, what do I want to say? Like, it's not that they have to have a lot of money or anything like that, but they have to be stable. They have to have a job, right? They have to be able to take care of them, because I feel like the last thing you want to do, because you've done it so much, is have to take care of another. Like, part of me is feeling that someone out there is saying, just want someone to take care of me. And I don't even feel like you're talking financially, maybe a little, but like, I hear you. Like, I just want someone to take care of me. Well, you just may get that wish. But we have to look at these fives, because these are the changes that are needed. And they're all energetic, by the way. That means, you can change them very quickly. Five of Cups, what am I focusing on? I'm focusing on cups that did not work out, that broke my heart. Five of Wands, drama, fighting, ego. Five of Pentacles, sadness, even in the Five of Cups. But something tells me that for some of you, you hold it in. You don't tell people, you don't let it out. And I feel like you have to let it out. And that may be part of the clearing. Like, let it out. Write it in a letter. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. This is what your spirit guides are saying right now. Whatever you're holding within you, simply by writing it down with don't worry about grammar, punctuation, just write it down, get it out, and either burn it. You can burn it under a full moon. This is what I'm releasing, and I'm releasing it for good. And to me, it's a symbol to the universe that you're open to what is new, what is next. Let's face it. I feel like sometimes the greatest love, I want to say, comes later in life. But when I say later in life, I don't mean like 60, 70, 80, though that can happen also. I mean, it happened to me. What I just mean is, like, when you've been through some things, because now you have a lot more wisdom, and that's the way to look at it. This is wisdom. It may also contain pain, but the real soul would know that I can clear this. Your higher self would tell you that. Baby, we've been here before. We've had these towers. We've given these towers. And we've overcome. And we can do it again. Believe in you above all. Believe in your abilities. Some of you, while you were in, let's just say, maybe a state of sadness, you may have decided, like you may have, like when you were in this, let's say, alone time, and I kind of feel like your head is hung low. But then all of a sudden, you may start getting these epiphanies, these ideas that just come out of the blue. Now, in that energy, you may not do anything with it, but what I would suggest is write it down because it may be a future. What's the word I want to use? Endeavor, something that you use in your near future. Remember, the chariot mirroring the fool really is representing your unlimited potential. So, I know this is, okay, I'm just going to say it. I feel like for some, like you've been so focused on maybe what you can't have for whatever reason that you stop believing in tomorrow. You stop believing maybe in love. And that is definitely your choice. Your guides know that. But what if this soul contract is coming due? Would that change your mind? Because in the Nine of Pentacles, I feel that you feel strong, steady, independent. I'm even noticing the lion right there, which really does symbolize to me the strength card, what I have overcome, the inner beast within ourselves. But she's tamed that lion. Okay. So, long story short, your souls know each other. There they are. And I feel like it's kind of beautiful. It's coming from divine energy, right? The two cups aren't down here. That's what's been already knocked over. This is coming from above to you when you turn your head. Okay. Let's put the world back. And let's just look at the world. Three of Pentacles. And again, the 21 of the world equals a 3. And what month are we in? A 3-month. Joy, celebration, optimism, gratitude. But this, if it's relating to love, this is about you feeling very comfortable being in your own authentic skin. And it's a reminder that you were born exactly as you were meant to be. So your individuality is something that you want to be proud of. I feel like this person behind you in this image, I feel like is the secret admirer. I feel like it is this night. Doesn't look like it's reached you yet. Now, I also want to say this is a very creative energy. This is about refocusing your energy. That's what I often feel. In times of blight, focus your energy elsewhere. Because you never know what you're going to create out of a simple idea, a simple epiphany. And just seeing that 33, to me, that's a master number. So it can talk about like your soul came into this lifetime to master a couple different things, not just love, But listen, some souls did come down here to master love. Like if you have a life path too, you better believe that, chances are you're going to go through some relationships and they are not all going to work out. And it's going to be about what do you do? That is what a life path 2 is. Life path 6, relationships and how to find that harmony. Life path 8, it's all about the material world. But there's no excuse, like who's ever in a life path 8 who is focusing on the material world, that's what their soul wanted to do. That's how you look at your life path. That's what your soul came here for. And another reason why, that's probably why I just offered that past life reading. Like, know who you were. And that's the thing, we have to know who we are. And that's what life teaches us. But you need to know who you are more than just this human body. Keep in mind that you're a spiritual being having human experiences. When we think that way, it's very seldom that we allow drama or what have you to stay in our lives very long. So this 3 of Pentacles, I feel like is perfect for the world's energy. Number 1, it's a celebration of who you are, who you've become, and who you're still becoming. But I also feel like there is secret admirer. And you may know nothing about this person at this point. And, some of you already know who this person is, but you may not know that they think of you in that way. Because I feel like it's going to be somewhat of a surprise. All right. Let's look at the Ace of Wands. Page of Pentacles. The Hangman. And the beautiful Star. Card of Aquarius, by the way. So, to me, Page of Pentacles is all about learning. What am I learning through my life's experiences? What wisdom have I gained? For some of you, it's also about, because we have the star mirroring that, again, it's bringing me back to the 9 of Pentacles. Let's just put it this way. This is the opportunity of dreams coming true. The Hangman, though, in between. Well, the Hangman is seeking spiritual wisdom to use on this earthly plane. I feel like for some of you, the wisdom you receive is that tower. Whether that tower was given to you or you gave it to another, it feels like it was the component that does open up this new chapter. And I feel like, because I've seen the Page of Pentacles so much lately, I definitely feel like, looking at our lives through a spiritual lens, like, what have I learned? How have I grown? What is it I still want to learn? What dreams do I want to make my reality? This Ace of Wands is like lighting up your dreams. And if one of them is love, well, that seems like it's being answered. And if one is money, even the 9 of Pentacles, that feels like it's being answered. But I just get a feeling, well, let's look at the Tower. I wasn't going to. Whoa. We have the Knight of Cups. Interesting. Six of Swords. And the Nine of Wands. Okay. So here's what I'm feeling. First of all, the Six of Swords is you walking away. But with the Nine of Wands connected to it, it's you walking away with clarity. It's you holding your head up high. Interesting how your head has been hung low, but something is turning that around. And I feel like your guys have a big part to do with this. That makes me really feel like some soul contracts to come and do. Nine of Wands, you're looking at truly the things that you've overcome. But in the Nine of Wands, you're saying to yourself, I would not be the person I am today without the experiences and the challenges that I've not only been through, but have accomplished or overcame. You know, I call the person in a Nine of Wands my spirit warrior. So it definitely feels like here you are in a Six of Swords. You know, it tells us that you were dealing with some type of toxicity. Yet the toxicity seems like it affected you more than anything. And this is you saying you had enough. Now there's this beautiful Knight of Cups. And I feel like this is twofold. Because number one, I feel like for some of you, you may have waited for someone to love you, to like express the way that they were feeling, but maybe they didn't. And maybe you just had enough. And then I feel like the Knight of Cups comes in again. But I feel like now it's this night. And I don't feel like you know about it. You may start to feel it. You know, that's why I love the Ace of Wands. It does mean it's go time. It's action. It's action-oriented energy. And you're giving it the action it needed, right? You're leaving the toxicity, the drama. You're saying to yourself, look how much I have grown through all of this bullshit. But being proud of who you are. Put that head up. Because here comes that night. And this Knight of Cups talks about an unexpected couple fulfillment. And yes, we can say that past love didn't love us in the way that we had hoped. But please, don't let it affect the potential of what wants to come in. You know, some of you, you have really cleared some karma. And I know that because I don't feel that like you're down in the dumps. Some of you may still be. But in a way, I feel more of you are like, let's go. I'm ready. What's new? What's next? And the chariot's like, baby, wherever you want to go, I'll take you. But the chariot needs balance to then become unlimited potential. Often relate the chariot to like a car. You order a new car, but it comes with four flat tires. Well, what good does that do you? So you need to inflate those tires evenly so that all four tires are working together. And that's kind of like the chariot. It is the balance of the feminine and the masculine, the light and the shadow, but within ourselves. It's like saying, I'm not letting anyone come in between me and my dreams any longer. I want to accomplish certain things. And I feel like that's exactly what you're going to do. I love that we see the hermit, especially when we have the world, because that tells me that you have looked at things from a spiritual lens. And, Scorpio, you're so loving and you do want to help. And you're great at helping the underdog, no doubt. You're one of the best signs for helping, and you know why? Because you're non-judgmental. Many of you, not everyone. But I really feel like, when you're living your spiritual life, you're really not judged. Like, I don't judge someone by the money they have, by the way they look. Doesn't mean that you'll be with anyone. And I'm not even talking about love at this moment. I'm just talking about life. Like, you are comfortable with anyone's energy. But sometimes you want to fix what doesn't want to be fixed. Okay. I kind of want to just follow that night for a second because I do feel like this night is twofold. I feel like number one, if I'm not receiving, whoa, what I feel like I need, then I have to make a decision. I continue waiting or I say enough is enough. She is standing on ice, so it's cold. It's not warm and tender. It's cold. All right, something went off the table. Oh my God. Hello, Six of Cups. Wow. Interesting that if it went off the table, number one. Almost like we're not meant to know about this yet. But yet our guides are letting us know. Six of Cups. Well, my friends, that is nostalgia. I can't help but think there is someone who may have loved you all your life from afar. And the timing may just have never seemed right. Or maybe they didn't have the guts. They were afraid to approach you. But that has ended because I'm telling you, this night, like, I have no doubt that he is on his way to you, he or she. And whether it's coming through communication, and, the Six of Cups, it does speak of nostalgia. Um, and it can talk about, someone that you have happy memories of. It could be an old relationship, like back when we were still immature. But now we're grown. We're grown adults. That's kind of my life. Um, you may have been friends with this person. Interesting. But if you were, it's interesting because you may have been with someone and they may have been with someone. But you may have had a little bit of a crush on them, where I feel like they had a big crush on you. But how could I say that? Maybe you were dating their friend. And sometimes I feel like when we're going through difficult things as it relates to love, sometimes our mind goes back to a certain person. Just wondering. Just wonder. I just wonder. Just wonder what they're doing, how their life turned out. And again, I feel like someone may reach you through another. And I don't feel like that's for everyone. But let me tell you, the Six of Cups often reads past lives also. And it makes sense with the soulmates here. Because soulmates, you've lived lives together before. But that doesn't mean, and here's what we want to remember. Like, let's say this is a soul contract, which I feel it is. There's other things that your soul wanted to accomplish also. And for some, it's independence. You know, like look at your life path number. And if you don't know what it means, look it up or even just leave it below and I'll give you like what I can give you. But because the reason being that life path number will let you know like some of the things that your soul wanted to accomplish in this lifetime. And a lot of times love, I want love and I want great love, but I may be saving that until I've accomplished other things first. And I feel like the one thing you've accomplished is knowing you. And that is a big accomplishment. Like I know who I am inside and out, the good, the bad, the ugly. But you have some wishes coming true. And it is asking you to be willing to be in the fool's energy. But everything up here just makes it seem easier and easier, right? Because first of all, where I was cold. So, non-emotional. But the Nine of Wands tells me that you can not only overcome this, but be stronger because of it. And then comes in this Knight. So this feels like someone new. Now, could it be the person who is associated with the Tower? It could be. But here's what I would say. You know, especially if you've gone through the Nine of Wands energy, which means you were bold enough to look at your life, to break it down, to know who you are, to know what you've been fearful of. And are those real fears or are they just human fears? You know what I mean? Because if we could take, honestly, the humanness out of it, then we would just be learning the lessons and moving on to the next. But we can't. But that doesn't mean the spiritual side of us can't shine. Oh, it can. And that's exactly what feels like is happening. Okay. So, Tower, I know what you are now. I can now give you a name. Don't forget that Knight of Cups. Don't forget the star. Okay. Straighten this back up. Let's go ahead and look at that, the near future. The Devil. Card of Capricorn. And my God, Capricorn always shows up in your reading, as you always show up in their reading. And I feel like I say this all the time, but it's just a fact. So, if it's not a Capricorn for you, then this talks about temptation, energy that had tempted you to it. Probably very alluring. You know, this is the devil. And the devil, you know, like, do I think it's literally the devil? Let's just say shadow. But it can be very illusionary energy also. And I just get the sense like, I don't want to live in illusionary energy. I want to know. I want to know. All right. I want to see what else comes out with that, though. Because for some, I feel like it's Capricorn. All right. Interesting. We got the Three of Swords. Look at this. The Three of Cups. And look at this. The Three of Wands. Hello, threes. Hello, December. Wow. Three of Swords. Your heart was broken. But the Three of Cups is about a reason to celebrate. And then the Three of Wands is the energy of optimism. It is the opposite energy of the Three of Swords. So something is happening within the Three of Cups that's changing your perspective from the Three of Swords, heartache, to now optimism. I can't believe you just got 333. I'm going to take 1 second, depending on how fast my phone is. My phone is so cheap. Oh, I have a game up. Just want to read angel number 333 because something is telling me to do it. Angel number 333. Look how long it takes my phone. Look, it just wrote that down. All right. Angel number 333 is a sign of encouragement, growth, and support from the spiritual world. It often signifies a time for creative expression, moving forward with your goals, and trusting your own strength and intuition. Seeing 333 can be a prompt to take action. To focus on your personal development and to find balance in your life. So I want to look to see 333 is seen as a powerful manifestation number, urging you to focus your intent to create the life that you desire. And let's taking action. This number can be assigned to put your plans into motion and to take action rather than waiting. The number is associated with femininity, the feminine energy. I'm just going to pull this up real quick. I know some are going to be like, why are you doing that, Sandy? Because I feel like my guides want me to. Okay, but this is taking too long. All right. So let's just see. All right. So I want to see what it means for in love. Did you know? Uh, it just skipped. Sorry. Did you know that angel number 333 is also a love number? Oh, I did not know that. In the interest of love, seeing number 333 is a message reminding you to surrender and trust all outcomes. It could also indicate that you are embodying the inner divine feminine energy and that you're full of I just lost it. Oh, great time for building a family. You are manifesting a love that will create safety for you to receive instead of only giving. This can also imply a time of celebration. That's exactly what came out. Good news in love is making its way to you. Have fun and be yourself while trusting your intuitive guidance. If you're open to new love, you can take angel number 333 as a sign encouraging you to engage in new experiences, the full. It can also talk about twin flames. If you see angel number 333 in connection with a twin flame, trust that you and your inner flame or your twin flame are meant to be together. Your connection is intuitive, almost psychic. You're meant to be. Additionally, this may be a moment where you're learning or you're leaning on your twin flame for support. Trust that they have your back. Wow. Okay. So, I'm sorry I took up your time with that, but my God, that makes so much sense. Three of Swords, it's leaning to the past. The Three of Wands, it's leaning to your future. The Three of Cups, it's right in the middle. So, this is nothing to worry about. This is something to celebrate. But I feel like first, I had to get through that Three of Swords. And sometimes I feel like our heart and our mind stays with someone who may not be that great for us until, for some, it does take someone new to show for you to make that ultimate move. However it works, it feels like it's working. So I accept that. And let's keep going. All right, so let's look at the Fool that's moving into the Two of Cups. I guess I should have expected love, though we always have love in our readings, but with Mother Mary sending out love, and think about that. Mother Mary sending out love, one of the highest vibrations, the Unknown card. Interesting. So this is the High Priestess. And I get the sense maybe I'm not meant to know more than the beginning of it. Because we also want to remember that we're co-creating with the universe. And I've been saying this in every reading. I don't know why, but we carry the pen and the paper. We are writing our stories with the help of divine. And then those soul contracts enter as they will. So sometimes you can't know everything because you're creating it as you go. Another way of saying that is, so this soulmate love shows up, and I know it's going to show up. And I want to be in it, but I want to know that it's going to go to the Ten of Cups. And that's the only way I'll be in it. Your spirit guides would say, I can't guarantee you that. You have free will. They have free will. But what I can tell you, that is both of these loves focus on each other, then it will go the whole way and beyond. This also tells me this is not your first lifetime. And you'll probably know that. For some of you who know who this is, I feel like you haven't had the luxury, or you have. All of a sudden, I get this feeling or not a feeling, but I'm seeing in my mind's eye where you're talking to another. And I have a woman, a girl, actually, or a young woman talking to a young man. And I feel like we're talking about spirituality. And I feel like we can't be together because there was someone and you're with someone, but you're noticing like how much you think alike. And I feel like you're like this spiritual talk, I feel like it's beyond your years. Well, that is your higher self. And I wouldn't be surprised if it happened the way it was meant to happen. You know what I mean? Like I feel like, well, why didn't we just fall in love then? Because there were other things the soul wanted to do. You know, it's like Sam and I. We dated when we were teenagers. Why didn't we just stay together? Well, because I couldn't tell him I loved him, even though I did. I couldn't say it. And then he broke up with me. But now we're back together 40 years after. You just never know. Um, I even asked Sam if he would be willing, which he will be. He already said yes, do a podcast where we talk about our relationship because it really is quite special. I'm not saying that we're not human, we don't fight. We fight. We fight. I got Irish blood in me. We fight. But then we make up. Okay. Anyway. Oh my God. Ace of Cups over the Two of Cups. Just that I went and looked up 333. Just look at your reading, Scorpio. And those intuitively guided. Love. Unconditional. Boy, do I feel this is not your first time of loving each other. Wow. If you don't fall in love, I'm not going to say it has to be December, but I feel like the activation is taking place now. This is why we're seeing these threes. It has to relate back to December, a 3 month. But I feel like it's just the beginning. And I have a feeling 2026, I'm going to be getting some emails or comments about you falling in true love. Not that the love before wasn't true, but this is different. It just is. Thank you, guides. Wow. It's like just put love in your engine and it'll keep running. Love is what makes the chariot run. All right, I'm going to keep going up and I'm going to look at the Hermit. Seven of Cups, making a decision, an emotional decision. Here is the cup, and now you're deciding. It's kind of beautiful, though. It's coming over the Hermit's energy. Your spiritual wisdom. Trust that spiritual wisdom. I don't feel like, you can say no. Absolutely. That's what free will is. That's why your guides say, I have to say potential. You may say no to this cup. And the cup is right here. connected right to the soulmates. But that doesn't mean you'll say yes. I hope you do. Every part of me hopes you do. But I guess in a way that should give you some comfort. I mean, the choice is always yours. But here's the thing. I feel like in an instant, you're going to fall in love. But do you move forward? That would be the only thing. We have the Page of Wands, my risk taker. Call it my Fool. Makes sense. We have the Fool mirroring it. And then, hello, Ten of Pentacles. Wow. So we saw the Nine of Pentacles. And in the Ten of Pentacles, you're not alone. This is the house of abundance. This is the house of loyalty. Let me say that again. The house of loyalty. The seeds in this house can take root forever and a day. And they probably already have. I love this. Because number one, I feel like both my soulmates are doing okay with money. I'm not going to claim that I'm rich or that I can even pay my bills every month. But I have a job. And so do they. And I feel like now we're combining that income. But let me tell you what else I feel. I feel loyalty. And I don't always feel it with this Ten of Pentacles. I feel it here. It is the house of abundance. For some reason, and I don't get this that often, but I'm getting it again, where it could be the type of love story that your grandchildren talk about, that your great-grandchildren talk about. Even after you left this earth, your love story remains. And I have to say, I feel like these soulmates could combine their creativity and do something together. Like almost like a family business. And because the reason why I'm feeling that is I feel like that is something that could also be handed down. I'm just picking up this energy of like what remains even after we're gone. And number one is the story. So it's going to be quite the story. It's like Sam and I's story. It is quite the story. I mean, you want to talk about dreams coming true. But listen, they're not falling in your lap, so to speak. Some of them are. But this Ace of Wands, what is at the root, and that's why I call it the root, it's what's inspiring everything. The changes this night that can't wait to come in. This world, meaning I'm allowing something to come to completion so that I can be in this fool's energy. And you don't even know at this point that this soulmate is here. You know now. Scorpio. Wow. I think I'm just going to leave it there. I feel like what an abundant reading. What a beautiful reading. but it does include real life at the same time. I feel like you're getting to the point where less and less is affecting you in a negative way. And why is that? Because you're concentrating on you and being the best you can be. But give yourself some slack at the same time. You know, if you're trying, you're trying. But now when we look at this tower, wow, thank you, tower. I can't believe, though I can, the Ace of Cups came right over the soulmates. And then it puts the ball in your court. And that, my friends, is free will. And that is why your spirit guides say, I can't determine the final outcome, but I can tell you this is the timing. And just think about falling in love, but feeling independent. It's different than love before. Falling in love, but loving yourself. That's different than the way love was before. The reason why this love is different is because you are different. It's not that you're different, it's because you're finding your true self. And I feel like the more you just let life flow, the more surprises. I'm saying surprises, but they are your wishes. And they are coming true. Now, I do want to say though, when our wishes come true, sometimes they may look different than what we expected. Like this night that's coming in. This person's on a mission. And it may be someone that you never expected, but turns out to be like, wow. Like, how could I ever leave your side now? So I guess the best thing to say is just to be open. But it is definitely saying you have to let what is come to completion and allow it to come to completion. Because that is the signal to the universe. I am open. I am ready for whatever is new, even whatever was planted to come in. And for some of you, again, if you know who this person is, it wasn't its time. But I have a feeling your heart chakras are activated. And I just get this feeling of like, even though I may have been with this person, they were with this person, there was something. And I know this is not everyone's story, but it's someone's. Because there was something that just drawed the two of you together. But I don't feel like you crossed a line. Like I don't feel like you cheated. Just what it just was what it was. And I feel like you accepted that. So let's just say this is not about you even having to seek it. It's just about you claiming your power, you saying yes to the world's energy. It means that you're allowing this clean slate to happen. This inspiration is going to be even more clear when you do that because all the fluff, all the cobwebs are gone. So now it's like a direct connection between you and your guides. Okay, I'm going to let it be. I always say that and then I talk again. Don't forget forgiveness, self respect, love. We have love of the highest form here. And I love you. Truly. I thank you. I forgot to give my daughter and my brother a shout out. My daughter, October 29th, and my brother, November 6th. Um, both with just beautiful giving hearts. And I have to say, with my daughter, I've seen people take advantage of her heart, but she's learning. She's learning. And that's all you can do is learn. All right, guys, I love you. I thank you. Um, I will put that past life or future horoscope. I'll put the video I did. And if you want to get to know who I was, it will tell you because I think I did 4 past lives. And what I did is I'm doing the past lives that are affecting this life. Or when I say affecting, it doesn't have to be in a negative way, but it's very interesting. So if you want to know about me, that tells you quite a bit. And then I did the horoscope. So I just connected the two of them, though kind of separated them at the same time. I'll leave that as an end screen. Anyway, I love you. I thank you. The Steelers are playing today. They're playing Buffalo. So we'll see. But you know what? I love you even more. That's why I'm doing your reading even on football day. Normally, I don't do readings on football day. Look at me calling it football day. I don't know why. But anyways, I love you. I'll see you next time at our table. Happy falling in love. Happy abundance. Happy December and happy next year. You are not going to be the same person. I know that. Well, you're going to be the same person. It's just that what's in your world for many, and again, free will, but okay, I'm still talking. I love you. Thank you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.